Hello there. So next up is DSLR mirrorless video camera, and this one happens to be the Panasonic Lumix G7 DMC-G7K mirrorless camera. And this is what's cool about this camera is that it's a small package and it does do 4K. That's the main reason I bought it. There's HD, which is right below 4K. There's 4K, which is the next level up. HD, I believe, is 1920 by 1080. The 4K would be 3840 by 2160, which is way more pixels than just a regular HD. And of course, standard definition, which is SD, is 720 by 480. So it's way better than both those. And what's cool about it, it shoots different flavors of 4K. It'll do 4K in an MP4 codec, H.264, and it also does shoot it in an AVC codec, an advanced video codec. That's what the AVC stands for, which is a different codec. So depending on your authoring system or your editing system, you have a choice of codecs to work with. Now, what's cool about these cameras, even though it doesn't have the 35mm sensor, it works with a micro four thirds sensor, and it does a pretty good emulation job of getting most of the picture on the sensor. So you don't get the full 35mm, but you do get a bulk of it. And with the 4K, you get a lot more high definition pixels. So that's the main thing of this camera, and that's why I mainly bought it. And it's got some pretty good uses too. As far as the construction of it, it's made out of plastic, and it's like a hardcore rubbery type of plastic. You don't want to drop it, as you don't want to drop any camera, because you know it's got the lens on it. You don't want to crack that, and it's got a bunch of real fragile electronic parts inside, so you don't want to drop it. So let's go around this camera. It's got some dials on the top, and you can pick different scenarios as far as picture quality of the camera. You can go into manual mode, you can go into automatic mode, you can choose whether to go into standard definition, you know, HD or 4K. That's what these knobs will help you do. It's actually got a screen on the back too, where you can look at some of the menus in here. So, and it folds out. That's another good feature of this thing, the way this thing folds out. You can fold out the LCD screen, and you're not stuck with it being, you know, like a lot of cameras, they have them back here, a lot of the old style cameras, and you're stuck with that. But this way you can pull it out, you can angle it to however you want, and if you're shooting and want to look at the monitor, you can turn around and even turn this monitor or LCD screen towards you, so you can see what's going on when you're filming, which is a cool feature. So let's put this back over here this way and talk some more about this. It's got controls on the back side here, where you can get to your menus, and then on the top it's got some more controls here and some more knobs. This thing has so many features, you really have to read the manual to look and see what it does, but it does some pretty amazing things. It's got a shoe up here where you can slide on like a microphone, lights, or anything that has a shoe connector on it. Let's turn this on and see what happens. So we're turning this on, and that's what it looks like when you turn it on. As you can see, there's the green table that we're looking at, and you can see it right there. You can go to the screen and say we have an item on there. I'm just going to use this this box, right? And you can actually autofocus on the box with, it's got your typical touch and autofocus, so it works pretty good. And as you can see, the screen is really nice. You can really tell what's going on. It's flexible, and if you're looking at it this way, you can turn the screen around to where you can see it on this side, so you can see what you're doing. See, and you can see how I'm shooting it with another camera. So back to this other screen here, turning it around. So it's pretty good, and as far as the quality, it's just really amazing. I've got a 14 to 42 lens on it, which is, you know, your typical standard lens. It's not nothing. It doesn't. It's not a zoomable, real close range lens or anything like that. But it's for your everyday shooting. It's basically what I use it for. You can see, you can zoom in and out. There's a box right there again that we're using as a example. You can zoom into it, and again, if you want to focus, just hit it there, and it'll focus. You can zoom out. So, you know, it doesn't have a great zoom, but it's got a lot for you to work with. Your on and off is on the top here. So if you want to turn it off, you just switch it off. You can fold this back in, and there you go. And a quick look at the Panasonic, what they call a Lumix Lumix camera, and it's the Panasonic Lumix G7 DMC-G7K. And you can find these on the internet. Even though it's not the newer model, they are still available because they're just so good that they've been able to stay in the marketplace. Okay, thank you very much. Pick one up.